Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the WLBB Community Voice Program on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. As you already heard, I'm your host today, Sara Claudia Cain. I hope everybody is having a wonderful start to your Wednesday so far. Today, we're going to be talking about a wonderful organization called Partners Advancing Student Success, also known as PASS. PASS is a nonprofit organization which strives to improve student success by offering support and services. And their goal is to increase graduation rates and keep students on track to finish high school through their various methods. And they have served thousands of students in our community and helped those students to achieve success. And we are lucky enough to have one of those students here with us today. Krystn Schwab is here to share about how PASS helped her to overcome her own challenges and find success. And we also have with us Krystn's PASS advocate, Hannah Yates. So thank you both so much for being here. I want to give you both a chance to introduce yourselves. Why don't we start with Krystn? Tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, so I come from Mountain Sign High School. And, yeah.
Thank you, Krystn. Thank you for coming today. I'm excited to hear everything you have to share. I know PASS has been such a blessing for you. Hannah, why don't you share a little bit about you?
Hi, I'm Hannah Yates. I am the PASS student advocate, and I was Krystn's student advocate as she was a graduate from Mountain Sign High School last school year.
Thank you both for being here. Now, Krystn, tell us how you first heard about PASS, the PASS program.
I heard about the PASS program through a student at the school. I was needing help as far as counseling goes, and I was recommended to go to Miss Yates for assistance to get started with that.
What were kind of your initial thoughts about it? I mean, did you think this is going to be a waste of my time, or did you think it could help? What were you thinking?
Well, from previous situations, going to counselors, at the time I always found that going to counselors, it was just their job to help people, nothing more. But with Miss Yates and a lot of the PASS advocates that I've met in the past, they're not just about this is my job. They're really here to help the students and to break down the barriers that are blocking their success.
Yeah. So it makes all the difference when somebody, they make you feel like they really, really care and they really, really want to help you. And Miss Yates, tell us a little bit about being a PASS advocate. What's your role, and how do the students, do they have to be referred to you, or how does all that work?
So yes, there is a referral process, but fortunately it is really, you could be referred by any way. For example, like Krystn's situation when she was referred by her friend. So you can be referred through a community member, a parent, a staff at the school. There's any way that they can be referred. Really, just if we know that there is a need for the student, that is our job to reach out to that student at the school and meet with them and kind of figure out the barriers and the ways that we can assist them. And I really think the role of the advocate is kind of just being the caring adult that they need. And then we kind of are able to figure out, because each child is, unique, and figuring out what their unique struggles and their unique skills are so that we can kind of address those and help them towards that success.
So what's the difference between a PASS advocate and a school counselor? Do they kind of go hand in hand?
Well, I will say that I kind of always say with my counselors that I work with, we're all in the same department, we would say, but the counselor's role is really more about their scheduling, courses and credits, especially seniors, kind of pointing them towards the direction of things getting ready for college and those types of things. Then PASS advocate is a little bit more of connecting the students with those outside resources and bringing those resources into the school for those students. So I feel like there's a little bit of a more holistic approach from the PASS advocate than the school counselors. Just don't have the time to do that based on their other responsibilities.
Yeah, kind of getting them ready for that real life.
Yes, yes.
So, Krystn, tell us a little bit about what your school life was like before you became involved with PASS. You know, your friend referred you, and there must have been some kind of a hardship, some struggles going on that made them realize you needed PASS.
Yes. Well, I was never really social through school, so that there was that. But it mostly came through with the situation I was in my home life. It was not a very good situation, and it put me in a really bad place to where I needed help, or it was going to continue to get worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what goes on outside of the school definitely isn't always separate, and it kind of seeps in. And so, talk about those challenges and how Miss Yates started to help you overcome them. What was kind of the first step in that relationship?
I believe the first step was the start to trust her. You know, growing up and living in the situation I kind of learned not to trust people. So I think for the first 2 years, it was all about building that trust and getting started, you know, finding a counselor, going to her for simple things that I needed, such as like clothes or toiletries, and advice. Advice was a big one to help me come up out of that hole I was in. Yeah,
that relationship definitely is a good foundation. And Miss Yates, for you, building that relationship, I know for me, I'm always wanting to get things done, check things off the to-do list. And was it hard being patient and taking that time to really build that trust?
I think going into each meeting with each student, you kind of have to go in knowing that, again, each student is unique, and you have to kind of be able to recognize what each one needs. Some meet you the first day and they tell you everything, and they're very open and they're ready to go. And then some, you have to take more time with. So it's all about kind of being able to recognize that and take time with her. And I saw that pretty much the first day that I met her, that she was going to need that time. And so that was what my job was, is to give her that time and that space to build that trust with me.
Yeah, so important to have that foundation. And we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy, before we come back with our guests to hear more about how PASS has helped Krystn achieve success. Stay tuned.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy has offered a challenging college preparatory education for 60 years. With over 500 graduates, we have maintained a 100% college acceptance rate. Over 90% of our students earn acceptance to their first choice of college or university, and over the past 5 years, our students have earned over $10 million in scholarship offers. Our students are creating a legacy. Come, be a part of our family and create your own legacy today. To learn more, visit us at oakmountain.us.
Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice program on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. I'm your host, Sara Claudia Cain, here with Krystn, a former PASS student, and her PASS advocate, Ms. Hannah Yates. We're talking about how PASS has helped Krystn and so many other students to overcome their challenges both in and out of the classroom and achieve success. And I think that is such a defining factor and attribute of the PASS program, is that, as Ms. Yates mentioned, it is a holistic approach, and it involves things that go on both inside the walls of the school and outside. And Krystn, you were talking before about how you face challenges in your home life that really started to seep into your school life, and you were referred to PASS from a friend. And first step in your PASS program experience was just building that trust relationship. So once you realized that you could really trust Miss Yates, what was the next step moving forward?
The next step was to start setting down those building blocks to better my success in the future. I knew I was going to graduate, but after that, it was kind of a question of what I was going to do after I was going to graduate. Mostly because I found myself, before I met Miss Yates, I found myself alone in that process, and that was really scary. And having her help me put those building blocks down, we were able to start setting small goals that eventually snowballed into these larger goals. And I graduated as a full-time employee, and I was able to start getting ready for college. So
wow. And that's amazing. And you know, you're so right. The real world is a pretty scary place, and when you don't have anybody to kind of prepare you and talk to you and, you know, help you find your way, it can be very overwhelming. So I'm thankful that you had Miss Yates in the PASS program to kind of give you those step-by-step little journey there. So we talked a little bit about how PASS is such a holistic approach, and I know that through the PASS program, you were given some pretty wonderful lessons and skills, and even pieces of, I don't even know how to say it, I don't want to give it away, but talk about how PASS helped you to get your job and how to get to and from your job.
Okay, so so I'm going to start off with this. Going through my junior year, it was tough. I had all these goals that I needed to have completed before I started my senior year, and I found myself falling behind. And, a large part of going to work in a rural area is you need transportation. Mm-hmm. You need a car. And I was told very early on that I was not going to get any help with getting a car, learning how to drive. And that really put me down. But I think it was a week before my 18th birthday, Miss Yates gave me a call. And she said, somebody has donated a car to the PASS program. Wow. And I think you should get it. And so after that, I received the car. She helped me find somebody to teach me how to drive. Mm. And within the next 4 months going into my senior year, I knew how to drive. I was getting ready to get a job on my own. And I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. I mean, that's an amazing thing that PASS was able to provide to you. And Miss Yates, how common do you get donations like that?
That was definitely a once in a lifetime donation. Mm-hmm. It just happened very quickly. We had someone reach out and said they had a car that was really in really good shape, and they wanted to help someone, and that's essentially, they wanted it to go to a high school student who needed it, so they reached out to us and they had that. So that was a once in a lifetime blessing for sure.
That's definitely amazing, and it definitely changed Krystn's life, and it gave her that push forward to be able to get a job. So where was the first place that you started working?
The first place I started employment with was actually through the 12 for Life program, through Southwire, and that's where I started. I started working there, but after COVID hit, they laid off their student employees. Mm-hmm. So the employer I found after I started driving was Ingles mm-hmm. Markets. And it was a wonderful job to start off with.
When you got that call about the car, I mean, could you believe it? What was your reaction like?
After I received the call, I put down my phone and I just had to step outside and take a breather, because that was receiving that call, and I've been really praying. I had been praying for something to happen, because I knew if I couldn't work through my senior year, I wasn't going to get to go to college, and I wouldn't be able to start building that success again. I feel like getting a job and working was the only way to get out of the situation I was in my home life. And receiving that call and having that support from Miss Yates, learning how to drive, and the PASS program, they loaned me the money to pay for the initial tag, title, and tax of the car. Oh. And after that, I was able to start working and pay that off, and it was amazing, having that opportunity. So
yeah, definitely a blessing, and definitely an answer to your prayers. And it's amazing to see how God works through programs like PASS and through people and their generosity and through our community. And I'm glad PASS program has been so wonderful. But Krystn, you also obviously have a very good head on your shoulders. So I would say a lot of your achievement is because of your own drive and your perseverance. Well, we're going to take one more short break to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back on Community Voice to hear more from Krystn Schwab, former PASS student, and her PASS advocate, Hannah Yates.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
At Oak Mountain Academy, our daily schedule includes convocation, prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance. By doing so, we build a family-like community where all students grow and flourish and personal faith is encouraged. Through community service and a historical approach to biblical study, our students are taught the value of the warrior way, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Oak Mountain Academy. We are a family creating legacies. To learn more, visit oakmountain.us.
Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice program on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. I'm your host, Sara Claudia Cain, here with former PASS student Krystn Schwab and her PASS advocate, Hannah Yates. We've been talking about how the PASS program has helped Krystn to overcome her challenges and reach success, do so many wonderful and amazing things. And Krystn, I know we talked about how your first step when you met your advocate, Miss Yates, was just forming that trust, trusting her to, care about your story and to help you move forward. And then you learned how to make goals step by step, small goals that were attainable and that would lead you to a brighter future. Let's talk about what you think is the most valuable lesson or skill that PASS has taught you.
I think the most valuable lesson was it's okay to trust people. From a young age, I was taught not to trust people. I was taught that people will never be there to help you. And working with Miss Yates and with PASS, it really showed me that there are people that truly want to help. And it was an eye-opener, especially since I was taught growing up that I would go in it alone, and come to find out there's actually people who want to help you, want to stand beside you to be successful.
Yeah, and that's an important lesson definitely to learn. And since your time in PASS and since you've graduated, have you been able to kind of find more people on your journey who have supported you as well?
I have. I've learned to trust supervisors and managers. I've been able to make more friends. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't really have that social life with friends and through school, mostly because I did not trust people to be around me. And I think working with Miss Yates and being able to advocate for myself, her teaching me how to advocate for myself and what I want, I was able to set boundaries and build relationships with those boundaries without the fear of being hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important too, knowing how to build those healthy relationships and being able to discern the ones that are going to be there to build you up and the ones who are going to do the opposite. So that's a very important, and we're really seeing how much PASS prepares students not only in the classroom, but that's a skill that's going to carry on throughout your life. So you graduated high school from Mount Zion in what year?
Of May of this year.
Okay. And so what are you doing today? Talk a little bit about that. I know you mentioned you were working at Ingalls Marketplace. Is that still where you're working?
No, coming out of high school, I really wanted to get back into manufacturing as a job. So currently I am with Royal Metals in Temple, and they are fantastic. They're really about the success of the products you make rather than like pay by hour. Mm-hmm. I'm paid by production, and as somebody who is really fast with their work, that's come in handy. Mm-hmm. But right now I decided to take a gap year to kind of build a fund for college, so me not having help with as far as the financial aid from like my parents, I really needed to take a year to build up a fund to go to college. So that's what I'm doing right now.
That's very smart to kind of get a good foundation under you before you start college. And it sounds like you're somewhere that is providing for you and that you enjoy. So
I do.
That's very, very important. So what advice or guidance, Krystn, would you give to a high school student who maybe comes from a similar background from you and is struggling with kind of the same things? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they don't have to give up. They don't have to put their head down and accept what's been handed to them. It's okay to go to somebody for help. And it's okay not to trust people at first. But you need to start trusting people. Mm-hmm. And the sooner you start trusting the right people, they will help you. So that's very, very well put. I think a lot of people need to hear that. You don't have to accept what's been given to you. You can move forward despite it, and there are people out there to help you. Thank you, Krystn. So, Miss Yates, how can people, if they want to donate to PASS or help out the PASS program or just be involved in some way, how can they do that?
So, probably one of the easiest is to reach out to your local high school. We are at all the Carroll County and Carrollton City high schools. Also, you can go to our website and you can donate there, contact the school directly. So that is
lots of ways.
Yes, lots of ways.
And I know y'all are always doing events and things like that. I've seen, on Facebook, social media. What are kind of your biggest events throughout the year?
Yes, our biggest event is our Ladies Night Out fashion show, which is going to be June 10th, 2022. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, that has been this will be, I think, our third annual fashion show, and it has been a great success this last year, kind of changing it to the summer, and so we're really excited about that. And then we do other kind of small fundraisers throughout the year. We do a telethon, and we do different types of things like social media weeks that we celebrate past and things like that, and do a give and ask for a give. So
it definitely sounds like a wonderful organization for anybody who's looking for something maybe to volunteer or to give to.
Yes.
Pass is definitely worthy. We've seen how much it's helped Krystn, and I know there's, like your website says, there's thousands of students, right, that y'all have been able to reach.
Yes, and that website is passwestga.org.
Okay. And is it every school, or is it just a county?
It is just in, we are unique to Carroll County, and we are currently in all of the county high schools, also including Temple Middle School. The advocate at Temple High School, he shares Temple High and Temple Middle.
Okay. Is there one advocate per school?
Yes.
Okay.
Each high school has their own advocate.
Okay. Very, very interesting. And, living in this community, there are so many wonderful organizations, and PASS is something that I've always heard the name, but I did not really know the extent to which what it does and how it helps. So thank you so much both for coming and sharing. And I know all the listeners, it probably helped them, encouraged them if they are struggling in school, but also inspired them to get involved and to help out other students just like Krystn. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners. We will be back. I'll be back next month. Colin will be back with you. And thank you for listening.